Hi guys, it's me, Reina. I wanted to talk to you guys today about my new book. It's called Pros and Cons. It's a collection of poetry, prose, just ideas on paper, dealing with the feelings of falling in love and just getting comfortable and opening up and being vulnerable and yada yada yada. So the idea came to me. I didn't really think to make it. Okay, Pepper, stop it. Come here. Come, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, the idea came to me. I was writing these poems in my notes in my iPhone. That's honestly where I start a lot of my blogs, and just a lot of my ideas. Pepper, no. But so yeah, I was just, when I would feel something, I would write them in my notes, and after a while I would look back on them, and I like the idea just hit me that it was kind of, stop it, it was kind of telling of the space and the place I was in this new relationship. So the feelings that I couldn't voice but were still causing me, anxiety or worry, they were on paper. And I just felt like the same way that people relate to my blogs that also deal with, usually things that I personally feel, they would probably benefit from or connect with these feelings that I was going through. So I split it up in 10 chapters. It goes back and forth between pro and con. So pros of the relationship would be just your independence, where you are as a person, just allowing you to fall comfortably in love because you know that no matter what, you're your own person, you always have yourself, and things like that. Comfort, the positive feelings of just having someone there, having someone to cuddle with, having someone to tell your secrets to and your day-to-day experiences. Acceptance, having someone know you completely, the good, the bad, the ugly, and still just accept you for who you are. Love, of course, all of the good feelings that come with just being in love. And then the last one being future, because being in love gives you a new outlook on your future. You can picture a future with someone else, and a future bigger than just you, whether it's kids that you want or just someone to travel the world with. Being in love gives you that, just it awakens those thoughts and those feelings that you might not have known otherwise. The cons would be past, and just the feelings of being wrapped up in the past, not being sure if you're ready to move on, not being sure if you want to risk the pain again, not sure if this person will make you relive that same scenario. And just that awareness that if you want to move on, you have to let those things go, but that's not always easy. So fear, obviously we start to feel fear as soon as we start falling. You don't know if the person's going to catch you, if they're going to be there for you the same way that you want to be there for them, if they're going to like the person that they come to know you as, and things like that. Dissatisfaction deals with that feeling once you are close to falling in love, and you want more from the person. You want to see more, you want to know them on a deeper level, you want to feel more connected to them, and things like that. So hope, I consider hope a con, because hope to me is the equivalent of expectations. We know that expectations breed disappointments. So once you start tying that person in with all your hopes, and you start seeing a future, and you really don't know if or how that's going to play out, it just sets up the stage for all of the images and the pain that's going to come back to haunt you should things go bad. And then the second stage of fear is just that fear once you have fallen in love, of whether or not it's going to last, whether or not this person will leave you, or not feel the same way as you, not be able to reciprocate your feelings or your like just your devotion, your commitment, and things like that. So this book is very special to me because I basically did everything myself. The cover, the edits, I self-published the little drawings inside. I don't know if they'll show up with this light, but yeah, let me see if I put it back. I put it, oh, there's nothing on that page. Okay, so just like, I'll take a better video off of this, but just the formatting, I had to teach myself how to do it. I did it. I didn't have like a format or anything. I basically had to go into Adobe Illustrator because as a photographer, like, I'm very comfortable with Adobe. Can you stop? I'm very comfortable with Adobe, so of course I know that there are other options, but just knowing that I could manipulate Adobe much easier and I can just always save it as a PDF, I did that. But I had to calculate margins. I had to you know, get a stylus and a special like pad to do the drawings. Can you, I'm gonna send you out of here and then you're gonna be sad. No. Yeah, and then just looking at everything as they came together and seeing what images kind of didn't fit as well and swapping them out for new ones, and some poems, when it came to the end, like, they didn't fit as well, adding new ones. But overall, this is literally an honest kind of account of everything I felt over the past year. It is personal, and probably the most personal project I have created. So I was kind of scared throughout the process about it. I shared my idea with the person I was with at the time, just out of respect. I was kind of nervous because these are kind of like, there's a lot of fears in there, and then I didn't want it to translate as like, I'm afraid of you, or like, I'm not sure I want to be with you. So I kind of explained the project to him and tried to share it as much as I could. But yeah, I'm no longer with the muse, if that's relevant or important. So it was kind of interesting for me to read the book again after the breakup and just not feel like any type of way. Like, after the breakup, there was nothing I wanted to take out. There was nothing I wanted to add. There was nothing. So it told me that I was honest, you know, because maybe if I had overemphasized or glorified the relationship, I would look back and be like, gotta take that out. Or if, you know, and I'm not the type of person to go back and add one to bash, but throughout the whole thing, I was saying over and over, you know, this could work or it could not work, you know, but we have to be open, we have to try, because at the end of the day, we'll always have ourselves, you know. But in order to get to that space and to get to that point where you are just connected to somebody, you have to be vulnerable. So being vulnerable doesn't mean that there's a guarantee, but I believe that there's 100% chance of failure when you aren't vulnerable, you know. And they say that with everything, with success. Like, you can't say that you want success and then dip your toes in or be scared. Like, you have to be completely submerged in whatever it is you want to do, just completely open and ready to take that leap, you know what I'm saying? And I went through points, and you'll read it in the book, where I was kind of like looking for a guarantee, you know, like, obviously not from him, because I wasn't saying this to him, but just kind of like, you know, like, is this gonna work or not? Like, are you gonna hurt me or not? And I had to come to the realization over the course of you know, these poems, and over the course of the relationship, that no one can offer you a guarantee. Like, you can't go into something looking for a guarantee, because in life there are no guarantees. The number one thing is that you're always true to yourself, always true to your needs, and, you know, just willing to be there for the person that you want to be with. In the end, you're gonna grow. You're gonna learn from it's all good, Pepper. Stop it. You want to come up here? In the end, you're gonna learn. You're gonna grow from it. So to me, I don't see any need to just to be bitter about it or to be spiteful or any of those things, right, Pepper? This is Pepper the Schnauzer. Say hi. She's 1, and she doesn't like that we have neighbors. I guess she wants me to like live on 5 acres, which would be cool. But we live in Miami, and 5 acres cost like 5 generations worth of a fortune, right? Wow, wow, wow. When I'm with you. This makes me feel like Busta Rhymes. If you really wanna. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. So that's the book. If you have bought it, if you have read it, if you enjoyed it, let me know. Any comments? Let me know. Always down to discuss love. Love is very important to me. I find myself being like a love warrior because I feel like this generation tries. Stop it. Play with this one. This generation tries to downplay the importance of love. You know, like we say that we're pursuing success and growth and self-love and we want to be social activists, and then it's kind of like love. We're like, oh no, like I don't need love. I don't need anyone but me. But love to me is a superpower. You know, love heals people. Love inspires people. Love makes people grow. It makes them want more out of their life. You know, like it's just, it gives, it fills in the void that money never can. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that all love is important. Not necessarily only romantic love, self-love, you know, the love that you have within your friendships, your family, and then of course romantic love. You know, there's only so much and so far we can get just being in our own headspace, because I feel like for the most part not being open to love also means that it's harder for you to form like those genuine connections just around you. You know, when you try to be so closed and so strong, it's not necessarily that having a partner means you're not growing, but not being open and vulnerable and allowing yourself to fail, allowing yourself to rise, that in itself can end up holding you back. So I will provide a link. You can get it at CreateSpace, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. I'll put the links below. And yeah, I hope to see you guys back for more videos, because I just got my office set up and I'm going to try to do this more consistently, because I do write the blogs, but it's not as easy, I think, for people to kind of like, well, it's not as easy for me to even freestyle and just go off on a tangent, because my brain goes off on tangents. I think it's more fun like talking like this, because I can kind of like discuss ideas and hopefully, you know, bring people on that can discuss ideas and just give you guys a better and easier insight to how my brain works. So I hope that you check out the book. I hope you enjoy the book. I hope that it's relatable. It's by no means like, it's not Shakespeare. As a writer, I know the different degrees of writing. I've written more like serious and more just not creative, but just, you know, more like figurative and stuff like that. This is just like raw, honest. This is what I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? If I was sitting in the car on the way to somewhere like dinner or something, and you know, he was quiet and I felt like I wanted to see more, it sparked an idea and I wrote down what I was feeling. I wrote it down, you know, and it formed into a kind of like a poetic sense, because there's just so much missing. You know, you're not going to read the poem and know that I wrote that because we were sitting in a car for a few hours and not speaking, you know, or I wrote it after we had the most romantic night of our life. So that's where I feel like the poetry comes in, you know, because you can fill in those gaps of the of what I'm feeling on paper with an experience that you've had. So yeah, that's that. I made sure to add this little, that's what I was gonna have on the cover in the beginning, but then it didn't fit. I almost forgot. I wanted to read a couple of my favorites just to give you guys an idea of what it's about. So this one's called Perspective. I can't sort my feelings for you from what was and what will be. I can't tell if my fears are a reflection of you or me, if my subconscious battles you or my ghosts. So I wait for clarity, scared of what lurks around the corners, but willing to find out. Comfortable. I can't help but hope that you'll love me comfortably. No expectations, no guidelines, no deadlines, but just the way you'd like. That I won't just impress you for a time, but that I'll trouble you greatly. That you'll reach for me in the night the way you reach for the fullest pillow. Let go. I whisper it to myself like a mantra. I inhale, hold, exhale, all the while repeating to myself, let go. Let go. I have given you what I have to offer. I have loved you so completely. And so it's so hard to let go, to leave our fate to the odds, to wait and see what we make of this. But it's not all on me or all on you. We have to choose to hold on to each other. So I loosen my grasps, I quiet my doubts, and I let go, hoping you'll hold on. Exposed. Once I realized the power you had over me, it didn't feel romantic. My feet were off the ground. I was exposed, vulnerable. You could do damage with the power I gave you. I began to look at you out of the corner of my eyes, the way I imagine a deer looks at the hunter. Will you kill me? Will you shoot me down in cold blood just for the hell of it? Imagine not knowing where I am, what I do, who I see. Seeing my smile on a screen, knowing someone else put it there. Watching me grow from afar, knowing I wanted all my gardens with you. Imagine that, when you feel far, when your spirit weakens, when you lose sight of what we do this for. Life won't stop after you, so imagine my life going on without you. Poetry doesn't say, life is fine with or without you. Poetry says, your love lights a fire in me. It ignites my soul. Poetry says, love is passionate, all-consuming. Poetry says to be fearless, to forget reason and practicalities. So I'll love you like poetry, and we'll leave realism to everyone else. There's one more in the independent section. Okay. I don't think that's it. Okay, so this is the independence intro. Love is marked by the merging of two hearts into one. We lose the me's in lieu of we. We become less selfish. Our happiness becomes intertwined with the happiness of our love. But it takes some time to become that open. The holding on of our independence is our way of gearing ourselves for what is to come. Whatever we lose, whatever we gain, we'll always have ourselves. And this is the closing of independence. It was something special when I realized I was something special. Yes, love and the perfect happy ending sounded great, but me, the things I had the ability to do, that was something else entirely. I began to see that I didn't want a happy ending. Why should anything end when there's so much potential for growth? I wanted something infinite, something not changed by time and circumstance, and I realized it began inside of me. The funny thing is, once I got to this point, I realized that I was never alone. I was in the best company when I was by myself. But what good was all the knowledge and passion if there was no one to grow with? No prospect of a future greater than just me. It would be hard to settle down though. I'd need someone that could keep up. Someone with their own light that would take turns in the shadow. And that's it. I hope you guys check it out and that you enjoy it and it touches you and all that good stuff.
I just want somebody that's gonna be around.